Shall we start? No? Ladies first?
No, say it, because I think it sounds really nice with your accent.
What, Archwell Audio?
Yeah.
Archwell Audio.
I mean...
Really?
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Today is December 3rd, 2022. It is 3:15 a.m. I was editing some videos that I recorded either yesterday or the day before, and I happened to Twitter and the squad were talking, and I want to use that opportunity while it's quiet, everybody's sleeping, so I could record. I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to edit it, but at least I want to get the quiet moment out of the way and to get some of the stories out of the way. There's one story I want to cover. I may not go into too much detail in it when I do cover it. It's that lady, the Brit, who had the bad experience when she went to I forgot her name. I'll put the screenshot of her when she went to Buckingham Palace and she faced the racism. So yesterday during the day I was checking, just hop on Twitter on and off, and then I saw she was trending, and I click on one of the I click on the trending part, and the vial of things that was going on that they were saying about her, I was like, what in the name? So at some point, hopefully I still have that feeling about it for me to cover it, but it's almost the same tactic. When somebody speak up, they send their dogs to harass them, so next time people don't cover it. The same thing that happened to I brought it up during the funeral, where the invite and uninvite, what happened to, not Netherlands, what's the other country, Denmark, all right, where they started trashing the crown princess, and then they took titles away from the grandkids and all of that. And I told you guys, I have a feeling, my humble opinion, why she had to do it. It's because they were pressuring her, and they gave her a hint of what they could do with the media. And this is the same thing that is being played out with the lady in the UK. All right, so when somebody speak out, they send their dogs to go and trash her. And at some point I want to cover it, and I hope people stand by her and protect her, because these people are truly vile. But in this video, what I want to cover is some of the things that happened in the US with you know who. Alright, so let's go on Twitter. So this is the first tweet. I bookmarked it, but it started in here. Alright, so let me read that one. The one good thing that should come out of this, with the derangers don't want to face, is that those titles mean nothing. There's the laugh. The future king is far above the 6. Bill should be fighting them off. There's the laugh. Alright, so she's responding to this, and I'm gonna go into that. Look, I'm not dragging the royal family by saying that the Boston turnout hasn't been huge and was never going to be huge. The length that some accounts are going to, saying that the crowd are massive when the New York Times is even covering the dismal turnout, is telling. Did I put the thing about, I think there was a tweet. Okay, so let me bring, alright, since she mentioned New York Times here, the next tweet, I'm just rearrange something because I did come across a tweet that talk about New York Times. Okay, so I just made a change here. So let's cover this. Okay, I'm sticking to my plan, not counting attendees or watching or comparing. I will say again that the cause is a good one, and I hope past and present winners succeed in their project. If they succeed, we all succeed, and I'm fine with that. The noise, not of interest to me. Okay, at the end of the day, Earthshot is an admirable cause. I take specific issues with gaslighting. Yeah. And then the thing is that the action, his behavior, for someone who pretty much, he's saying the Earthshot, whatever, but his behavior, remember those planes that were, flying around empty, trying to make a point of some overshadowing bullshit kind of thing? Alright, so if you really care about the planet and all of this, this should never had happened. Too much that everywhere. Alright, Earthshot is a great cause, but there's very little known about it or the recipient. Yeah, they just do it at the moment and then they're done with. Meanwhile, look at that Harry, for instance, the Invictus, how proud he is of it. There's a lot of things that they be showing on Twitter. Sometimes I don't cover it, but there are times I make specific videos where I highlight some of the charities, like World Central Kitchen and the Invictus. So lately I haven't come across. Maybe one day I'll go in their page, their Twitter page, and share some of the things that's going on. Yeah, they talk about it all the time. And I'm sorry, I'm keeping you on the dark on that. Earthshot is a great cause, but there's very little known about it or the recipient. I know it is a fairly new, but if they want to make it a thing, they're going to need to be more upfront about it and talk about it instead of just making commercial and having a gala. The one good thing that should come out of this, which the derangers, okay, that's the one I bookmark. The one good thing that should come out of this, which the derangers don't want to face, is that those titles mean nothing. There's the laugh. The future king is far above the 6. Bill should be fighting them off. There's the laugh. It was never going to be huge. That was giving a word or a dime. It doesn't in America, and royalty means nothing. Alright, quote, let's go to Boston and Massachusetts, USA in December. Crowds don't like the cold. Let's visit Harvard during finals. Students don't like roadblocks. That is true. Oh my God. The holiday is coming. So which means the term. Ah, my goodness. I left college a long time ago. Yeah, they're about to finish with that part of the semester. So there is final going on. Yes. Students don't like roadblocks. Let's schedule this when France has an official state visit. Yikes. I'm gonna wear a green screen, friendly dress. Yeah, I have a tweet about that as well. And funny. Okay, they're desperate, very desperate. Kid couldn't be bothered to wear American designers, and that says everything about this trip. There's this. This is real, how we feel about the royal family. I hope they will remember this lesson. Safe to say the Celtics didn't give a F about the prince and princess being at their game. All right, 25 seconds.
Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
I know you guys have played in front of a lot of celebrities, but what was it like to compete in front of royalty tonight? The Prince and Princess of Wales were in the building.
It was just a regular game to me.
Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And
Oh my God, these people, they're asking for it. Okay, so not a bit of media. Okay, so the squad are bringing receipt. Bido Media 2.0, American to sleep on street as Kate and William visit sparks frenzy. I mean, they love to pop themselves up, but the reality they don't want. I don't know. This is the nonsense they putting in their heads. But when reality come, boom. Okay, there's the thing. Good. I'm glad they put this. If you care so much about the earth, this kind of thing should not be happening. Okay, remember, I believe when Meghan first got into the royal family, she went there once, and then the second time she didn't go because she didn't like what they were doing. Okay, my question is, what actually happens after this if we are to save the earth? Are they going to fly less frequently, eat less meat, or turn vegan, not wear that many clothes, give away some of the stolen jewelry, stop hunting animals for fun, etc., encourage people to follow suit? I spoke about this before. You know, the food chain. Okay, when you're hungry, you do what you have to do to find food. But them, they're doing it for fun. That's the thing here. They're not doing it because they're hungry. They're doing it for fun. Okay. There's this. The Kardashians get a bigger crowd at the mall. Okay, I give them credit for trying to play in the big leagues. They've been in a natural environment where people have to like you, or at least pretend because of who you are, you have to give American a reason. Thank you. There it is. You have to give them a reason. That's a very good one here. Oh, there's no comment here. I thought I saw one. Yeah, it doesn't show. Yes, Boston is a city that's just hard to impress. Royalty is Caroline Kennedy and my beloved Red Sox. We got a problem here with the Red Sox. I'm a Yankee fan. Just pointing that out. But anyway, let's continue. Bottom line with these stores though is this: William and Kate don't have the it factor that commands attention like Diana masterfully did, or like the Sussexes do. Mango. And then you have the brother who turned against his own mother.
That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
And then you have the brother who turned against his own mother.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said.
What evidence did you have that their relationship was continuing even though you were married?
A woman's instinct is a very good one.
Prince Charles expected his butler to keep visits to Camilla a secret from the princess.
A woman's instinct is a very good one.
Paul just turned around to him and said, well, are you expecting me to lie for you, Your Royal Highness? And Prince Charles said, well, yes. Yes, I am.
A woman's instinct is a very good one.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said.
And went into this histrionics about being the King of England, the future King of England, the Prince of Wales, and you will lie, stamping his feet, and then threw this book in Paul's direction.
And then you have the brother who turned against his own mother.
The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse, and has since hurt countless others.
Well, I had knowledge of it.
From staff?
Well, from people who minded and cared about our marriage, yes.
Prince Charles expected his butler to keep visits to Camilla a secret from the princess.
What effect did that have on you?
Pretty devastating.
Are you in love? Lovely little question. Very typical question to ask people who've just got engaged.
And I suppose in love?
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Yes.
She was an absolute stunner, an absolute gorgeous woman. And then you look at him, you think, whoa, she's marrying her granddad.
It was amazing when they first did that photo shoot. We first got to sort of meet Diana, this woman who was going to one day be our queen, we all thought. And she came across very well, and he came across as this bizarre, stuck-up, sort of 17th century figure. 17th century figure.
The two people, okay, were American respect, all right, Harry and Princess Diana, and then they turned the brother, that one, the future king, okay, against both of them. So what do you expect? You think people don't know about that? Crowds to buy Air Jordan were larger. Crowds to see the corpse flower were more massive. They are not a draw at all. All right, so there's more comment. Let's move on to the next one. Now this is the part about the New York Times, since it was mentioned at the beginning. All right, there's this. Just some screenshot from this New York Times piece on William and Kate's trip to Boston, and which local explain, among other things, how, quote, the royal family had mistreated Meghan Markle. What? They said that? How the royal family had mistreated Meghan Markle. Wow. Bostonian take on the royal whirlwind visit. Whatever. Okay, let's see here. Okay, she put the link. Maybe I'll click on it so you guys could read it yourself. I'm probably not gonna have access to it. Okay, so we're picturing a buzz about the visit 2 miles away at Centopio's, a bare bones bar and pizza joint and East Boston institution. Quote, not yet, a bartender said dryly as he hustled crispy pizza and plates of steaming sausage to a row of diners Wednesday night, his expression suggesting the likelihood of any buzz was quite low. Okay, at a Dunkin' in the diverse Dorchester neighborhood on Thursday, a woman waiting for her order in a puffy winter coat, hood up, declined to talk to a reporter, then asked what the story was about. Informed of the topic, she curtly shook her head. Don't care, she said. The city history helps explain its deep vein of indifference, said Brooke Barbier, a historian who also offers a guided tour of Boston because its identity is so rooted in the American Revolution and its rejection of monarchy, and because its landscape is still littered with vivid reminder of that past. It makes sense, even centuries later, that Boston can care about the monarchy, she said, even if secretly they care. The thing is that when they first mentioned it, and the squad were talking about Boston is the racist country, city in the US. I made a mistake on my last video. I said Boston as a state. Boston is not a state. Boston is a city within Massachusetts. Okay, Massachusetts is the state. So, and back to my original thought, is that when the squad were first talking about it, that Boston is a racist city and all of that, one of the things I think I brought up at that time was that with its history, how it come about, the Boston Tea Party and all of that. Okay, they will probably, did I say it like that, or I don't remember exactly how I put it, but I did bring up the Boston Tea Party, the rejection of the monarchy and this kind of thing. Alright, so let's continue. There's more screenshot. Some Bostonians said they cannot tolerate the royal family because of allegation of racism among some members and associates, including a new report this week of racist comment by Prince William's godmother. Wow. Quote, I can't talk about them because I'll get mad. End quote, said a woman hurrying to catch a train in Dorchester on Thursday, referencing reports that the royal family had mistreated Meghan Markle, William and Kate's sister-in-law, who is biracial. At a ceremony welcoming the couple on Wednesday, one city official, the Reverend Mariama White Hammond, made a point of calling out a, quote, legacy of colonialism and racism, end quote, linked to the monarchy. In true Boston fashion, traffic was also a sticking point, with many locals dreading the prospect of more disruption and delay caused by the royal entourage and security. In neighboring Somerville, where the prince and princess planned to visit an environmental startup incubator, some took to Twitter to lament the likely impact of their grocery shopping, calling it, quote, a bad day to go to market. To Market Basket, a reference to the beloved local grocery chain. Okay. Oh, there's this one. That said, she deemed the visit, quote, not much of an event, end quote, and said she would be offended by any excessive show of deference to royalty. Quote, this is America, and I think that's an important part of who we are, that we don't defy people. Defy. Wow. They don't think of you as a god. Alright, so I wanted to make sure I read the right one. Okay, my hometown. There's a clap. I love Boston. I went to Boston once. And I remember when I went there, we were driving around. It's like almost, I don't know if it's still the same, because it was around, when was that? 2000, no, not even 2000. It was 1996 or 97. All right, I was with my college friends. We went there to visit, and one of my professors as well. We stayed there for like maybe 3 days or something like that. It's like every blocks there were banks. I remember I made a note of that to myself, a mental note. I'm like, my God, every block there's banks. So I don't know if it's still the same, but that's one thing I remember. Okay, Bostonian don't care. Disastrous tour to disastrous tour to racist royal family. Okay, Bostonian take on the royal whirlwind visit, whatever. Really? Okay, I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, so that's perfect. So this one you'll be able to read it because it's on how do they call this? Archive. So if I were to put the New York Times one, you will not be able to read, or you have to pay for it. Alright, so there it is here. I'll leave the link of that in the description for you guys. You know what I think? The reason that I think they chose Boston is that they wanted to at least try to outdo Harry and Meghan when they went to New York. Remember the frenzy that went in New York the first time they went? They went to World Trade Center. The mayor, the governor came to show them around, and you have one of the squaddy who said, "I love you, Harry. I love you, Meghan." This kind of thing.
Meghan, Harry! You look so beautiful, girl! I love you both! I love you too, Harry!
This is what they were trying to outdo. The way New York had received Harry and Meghan. That's what they were trying to do. But I don't know why they're competing with Harry and Meghan.
Hi, everybody. It is so good to be back here with all of you.
But anyway. Alright, so the squad do that because usually once the squad start pointing out their nonsense, they make changes. Alright, or they remove it completely, so they archive it. Okay, thanks Lola, thank you. Brutal rejection. Okay, also what random timing for this article. Let's see here, 10 hours ago. Where did the royal find Prince George's nanny? Okay, at Northland College, one of the oldest nanny schools in the world, where students learn how to shield strollers from paparazzi and fend off potential kidnappers. What? Okay. Well, but the Daily Fail told us it's going to be Beatlemania when Peggy and Peggy Les visit America. I love Americans. Okay? They think they show up, it will be a hit. I don't wish them ill will, but they don't impress me. I hope their moonshot or whatever helps, but they don't impress me. Safe fly home. The New York Times fished for that. Crowds greeting them. I haven't been to or thought about Market Basket in years, perhaps decades. Such a great shop. This was brutally true. Alright, so that's that. Let's move on to the next tweet. Perhaps decade. Harry and Meghan overshadowed. Okay, let's see this. Okay, so this one is 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Harry and Meghan overshadowing royals trip. That's the question. The View co-hosts weigh in on the timing of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex new Netflix docuseries trailer released just as Prince William and Princess Kate made a turn on their American tour. Alright, I did listen to it and then I did comment on it. Alright, there's my comment. It's like a freaking thread. I'll read it later, but let's listen.
You know who they are,
it's
right?
very
William
low.
and Kate, when I say that, you know exactly who they are? Okay. Well, they picked a bad time to visit the States. They had just gotten here the other day when a longtime royal aide, who's also William's godmother, stepped down from her behavior at a palace reception where she repeatedly asked a black guest what part of Africa she was from. To which the woman...
Okay, I will put the screenshot of that as I'm editing it, so to know what she's talking about. And I will also put the transcript of what she tweeted. I have it.
Woman kept answering, "I was born here, I'm British." And yesterday, the trailer for Harry and Meg's Netflix docuseries was released. Interesting timing. Watch.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna show this. Go watch my video that I have that because YouTube will block this video. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm skipping it purposely. Alright. Alright, let me move it back. Alright.
Doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
So, do you make anything of this release? Do you think it was deliberate? So as to take the,
Well, I didn't realize they had that much power within Netflix that they could say we're going to drop it now because my brother and his wife are coming to the States.
Well, don't you think Netflix made the decision rather than...
That's why I love her when she's there because she tells the truth. Harry already did that thing. They edit, whoever edited the docuseries, whatever it is, and then they give it to Netflix, and Netflix is in full control of it now. So they're blaming Harry and Meghan for its release. I mean, come on. Don't the royal family love to overshadow other people too? They thought they were gonna overshadow, but hey, two can play that game. That's the thing. They don't realize that two can play that same nonsense they've been spewing. When the table is turned on them, they qualify. Okay, so let's continue.
Ma'am, maybe it's smart marketing. I don't think they controlled it.
Thank you.
But I do think that, you know, Princess or Duchess at this point, Meghan, told you exactly what was happening within this royal family. She told everybody that there was racism.
Yeah.
She told everybody that she was the target of death threats and racism repeatedly, that the family refused to protect her. And now we see that William's godmother was supposed to be her advisor when she joined the royal family, and that person is also a racist. And so...
This is a very good point. This is a very good point. This is... Well, I looked it up when I first came across it. What is they have a special name for them or something like that. It's lady in waiting, okay? To finesse their position, lady in waiting. I'm like, what the hell they're waiting for? I didn't know. I look it up. It's a maid, okay? It's a maid. So the maid is one of William's godmother. So they put her close to Meghan to keep an eye on her, and then she was being mistreated. Can you imagine that? Okay? So Meghan is telling people the truth, but they brush it off. Okay? They brush it off. So now it's coming back again, and then you guys are all of a sudden going crying foul all of a sudden. Like Meghan was never telling the truth.
I'm just surprised that...
Also, though, has anybody else actually been proven to be a racist?
Well,
You're not the biggest fan of the monarchy. I wonder why.
Kenyans are suing the UK government over colonial abuses and land theft. Colonial abuses and land theft.
Though, has anybody else actually been proven to be a racist?
They're seeking a reported $200 billion.
If you go to Kerry, they will tell you that the British never left.
Though, has anybody else actually been proven to be a racist?
The status quo is not acceptable, it's not sustainable, and the resistance is moving in the right direction.
British colonizers forced Talai and Kipsige's people off their land in Kericho County to make tea farms for white settlers.
Though, has anybody else actually been proven to be a racist?
Between 1895 and 1963.
There have been a lot of reports from Meghan and Harry themselves about the questioning of the color of what their baby's skin would be coming from someone within the royal family.
Somebody said what?
She's playing devil advocate. She knows very well, okay? Whatever her name is. Okay, she's playing devil advocate on Sonny right now.
Someone said, they were concerned about how dark the child would be.
They said, I wonder what color the child will be.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows very well.
Yeah. And there was concern about the darkness. Well...
Should we really go there?
Thank you. Harry and Meghan never said it. Okay, trying to pinpoint people's names so they could be sued. Shit.
Harry and Meghan have not named names, but it came from within the close royal family. So what I will say is, I'm just surprised that so many people refuse to believe that she was subject to this type of treatment, even though she told you over and over again.
Thank you, Sonny.
I love her podcast. She tells important stories. I like both of them. I like what Harry does with the Invictus games. The one thing I'm a little struck by, though, is they already told their story. At the end of it, she says, when the stakes are so high, you have to tell your story. You sat down with Oprah. We all watched it. I'll probably binge watch this when it comes out. But I kind of feel like they're perpetuating putting themselves in the public eye when that was what they were trying to avoid.
Okay. Meghan never said anything about privacy. This was Piers Morgan's own word. Okay, and Meghan had confronted that and said she never talked about privacy. And the other thing with the Oprah interview, we need to make this very clear. It's when she was in the royal family, okay, they told her to keep her mouth shut, but they never protect her, but the tabloid keep running their mouth non-stop. Now, as she left the royal family, it's been what, maybe 2 or 3 years since she left? They keep at it. They keep at it. We don't know what the Netflix series is gonna be. Okay, we don't know, but we might have an idea. But since she left for 3 years, what other thing have they said? So maybe she's gonna cover her lawsuit, because now she won. She has the right to tell her story. Okay, because during the lawsuit she had to keep her mouth shut so they don't use things against her. All right, so When did Meghan ever come out and talk? How come they don't bring the thing about Uvalde, the parks that she helped? Okay, Harry and Meghan have been talking about their work only. They support work. Well, Central Kitchen, INVICTUS. Thank God she mentioned INVICTUS. How come she didn't mention about Uvalde? Okay, even when they were opening the park for Uvalde, Meghan and Harry did not go because they did not want to overshadow the work. They sent their representative. Okay, so when has Meghan ever come out and keep on defending the tabloid? No, since the Oprah interview, that was it. And then the Oprah interview was from the point she married into the royal family. Since she left, I don't know what she's talking about. So we need to make this clear.
I don't know. There's a balance.
It's an important story to tell.
Yeah, but you know, listen, first of all, I think Netflix is great at marketing, and I think Harry and Meghan are great at marketing themselves.
That's right.
You know,
it's about time that they make money off things that other people's were making money off. Okay, and they're making money off of their own story, not other people's story. All right, so make that clear as well.
What did you study at college?
I double majored theater and international relations.
What did you study at college?
I double majored theater and international relations.
They've now earned tens and tens of millions of dollars out of their story, which they've been telling, it seems to me, for years now. And they're very good at it. So I don't know if they had the power to tell Netflix, drop it when my brother is here, but I think they probably did have the power to tell Netflix, don't drop it when my...
Guess what? Even if they tell Netflix, don't drop it there at that time, do you think Netflix will want to listen? They want to piggyback, all right? All those people who saying they're gonna cancel Netflix, they want to make money too. Everybody's there for the money. Only the UK tabloid can make money.
There's a huge amount of content published about Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are good business. It's something crazy like 15,000 mentions of them online every day. So they are, the whole royal family, and particularly Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a really big business for the tabloids. And then we all know about negativity bias and how bad news, negative headlines tend to do better online, which is a really sort of unattractive part of the algorithms that are used. So I think all of that feeds into the coverage.
Is here, but I think it was smart marketing.
Thank you.
We're talking about it because it coincided with that. And I just wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears, and they were giving me something positive.
Okay, you need to tell me those things, because I don't see every time she's on TV talking about that. She was on, what is it, Ellen? All right, that was a complete different thing. I want to know what she's talking about. What is she talking about? I'm sorry, I'm gonna move it back so you guys could hear it more, because I think I talk over it. Some of you hate that. Sorry.
With that. And I just wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
I also echo the immense gratitude for tonight, both for this award and to this community for welcoming me with so warmly.
Meghan, are you proud of your husband?
I'm always proud of him.
We have what we need to vaccinate the world, but the experts told us, here's what's getting in the way. They said many countries are ready to produce vaccines at home, yet they aren't allowed to, because ultra-wealthy pharmaceutical companies are not sharing the recipes to make them.
I just wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
These countries have the means, the ability, and the workers to start manufacturing. All they are waiting for is the vaccine intellectual property to be waived and for the vaccine technology to be transferred over. And by the way,
I want to focus on a word that you use that I use a lot, which is reckoning. We are really here. We are really facing it.
Yeah.
And I just to prepare for this interview, I listened to a moving graduation speech that you gave. And you not only said Black Lives Matter, you said the names of the people that we've lost, the people that have been murdered. And I was struck by the the courage that it took, the effortless courage that it took to keep bringing these things forward, which you do.
I just wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
And that brings me to the moment of reckoning. You're not the only powerful woman, even in this community, who has had a sitting president take a shot at you, mobs come at you, powerful people and powerful forces try to take you down or try to disparage your message.
I just wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
This is a tough time for people with power and platforms. What is your best advice for other folks with stakeholders, with a desire to weigh in on the important issues of the day, to take those risks carefully, to assess them correctly, and then to weigh in?
Yes, I mean, I think it's about being authentic. And if you look back at anything that I've said, it's really interesting because it often what ends up being inflammatory, it seems, is people's interpretation of it. But if you listen to what I actually say, it's not controversial.
Oftentimes you walk in here and it's like you're bigger than life just walking in.
Is that how you felt just now?
Yes.
No,
I mean, the whole place lit up. Absolutely.
That's why, well, you know, we don't get out much.
That every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
So I don't personally feel that way. I still see myself as the same that I've always been, right? I've always been a hard worker. I have always, you know, the people that know me well, and some of them are here today, I've just always been the same. And so I think Melody's point is a really strong one in that the perception might be different, but if you are really grounded in who you are, you know, in your ethics and your values, and I don't know, I show up in the same way that I always have.
That every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
I've read great things about you as a boss, and if you read the tabloids, you can read all sorts of crazy things about it being a boss. Do you feel like you have to do it differently, and do you, specifically given your role, do you feel like you have to do it differently?
Well, firstly, I would urge you not to read tabloids because I don't think that's healthy for anyone. Hopefully one day they come with a warning label like cigarettes do, like this is toxic for your mental health.
Suffered. Do everything you can to make sure that whatever negative experiences that you had, that you can make it right for your kids.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
Climate change wreaking havoc on our planet, with the most vulnerable suffering most of all. The few weaponizing lies and disinformation at the expense of the many. And from the horrific war in Ukraine to the rolling back of constitutional rights here in the United States.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
What? You tell you what, you sound just like my son Archie.
Really?
The same little squeaky voice. I love it. Yeah.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
But what I remind him is that no matter what you want to be when you grow up, it's your character that matters most. And nothing would make his mum and me prouder than to see him have the character of what we see before us today. You.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
Go, go, go.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
Across the Commonwealth, there's no way that we can move forward unless we acknowledge the past. And I think so many people have done such an amazing, incredible job of acknowledging the past and trying to right those wrongs. But I think we all acknowledge on here that there is so much more still to do. It's not going to be easy, and in some cases it's not going to be comfortable. But it needs to be done because guess what? Everybody benefits. So I think there's a hell of a lot that we together need to acknowledge, but I only see hope and optimism in the fact that we could only do this together.
We have to, in this moment in time, say, we're going to have to be a little uncomfortable right now, because it's only in pushing through that discomfort that we get to the other side of this and find the place, as you're pointing out, where a high tide raises all ships.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
My wife said recently that our generation and the ones before us haven't done enough to right the wrongs of the past. I too am sorry. Sorry that we haven't got the world to the place that you deserve it to be. Institutional racism
has no place in our societies, yet it is still endemic. Unconscious bias must be acknowledged without blame to create a better world for all of you. I want you to know that we are committed to being part of the solution and to being part of the change that you are all leading. Now is the time, and we know that you can do it.
Wish that every time I saw Meghan and Harry, they weren't crying and wiping away tears.
Being afraid that if they lose the support of the public, they could go away themselves.
That's right. And I don't think people here fully appreciate the degree and the extremes to which Meghan was covered in England. I mean, it was vicious.
Yeah, the negativity. Vicious is the word.
Yeah.
Well, what a missed opportunity. I mean, the Commonwealth is 60 to 70% people of color. Britain is a multicultural country. What a missed opportunity.
They don't report the news, they create it.
They were giving me something positive.
Almost destroyed their lives.
We only have
Thank you.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
the
that
most notable
part.
thing is that they wanted privacy. Like, they were harassed. I do believe everything that she said.
Who wanted privacy?
Want when it comes to privacy.
It's not them who have said they want privacy. It's
if you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
Something that the tabloids have said about them that's latched on.
When they left the
They
royal
wanted
family,
protection.
they wanted protection and they wanted to leave that. I do find it it's hard to reconcile.
Do we
the amount
really
of
care? I mean, we're dealing with election deniers and anti-Semites and everything else.
$100 million Netflix deal.
I gotta tell you something. What they want is privacy and to get away from the royal family. They got a hell of a way of doing it.
They have taken steps when there have been blatant violations, unlawful violations of privacy. Of course, then they've challenged it because that's in line with their values. But that doesn't mean just because you assert your human rights that you then become some kind of Trappist monk and take a vow of silence and you're not allowed to discuss anything. That's not how privacy works.
I gotta tell you something. What they want is privacy and to get away from the royal family. They got a hell of a way of doing it.
Privacy is about the right to own and control what personal information you choose to share with somebody.
That you shouldn't you have an expectation that you're going to have to lose privacy?
Well, it's two things here.
That's part of the deal.
Two things here. I think everyone has a basic right to privacy.
The royal family, they got a hell of a way of doing it.
Basic, right? And we're not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. So if you're at work and you have a photograph of your child on your desk and your coworker says, "Oh my gosh, your kid's so cute. That's fantastic. Can I see your phone so I can see all the pictures of your child?" You go, "No, this is the picture I'm comfortable sharing with you." And then if they double down and say, "No, but you already showed me that one, so you have to show me everything." You know what? I'm just going to hire someone to sit in front of your house or hide in the bushes and take pictures into your backyard because you've lost your right to privacy because you shared one image with me.
Meghan was covered in England. I mean, it was vicious.
Yeah, the negativity. Vicious is the word.
That's sort of the flawed argument and its operating mechanism that they're confusing people to think. I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with. There's no one who's on Instagram or social media that would say, because I shared this one picture, that entitles you to have my entire camera roll. Go ahead, look through it. No one would want that.
Meghan was covered in England. I mean, it was vicious.
Yeah, the negativity. Vicious is the word.
So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy.
I gotta tell you something. What they want is privacy and to get away from the royal family. They got a hell of a way of doing it.
I've never talked about privacy.
Oh, guess what? They do get it. They do have the privacy. And let's make it clear. Before I started talking about Harry and Meghan on this channel, okay, I was not following Meghan. I've said that so many times. But through things, learning from them, reading past things that squads have been mentioning, Meghan in particular. Meghan had a good relationship with the tabloid. Okay? She had good relationship with the tabloid and things that she...
Yeah, it's still my baby. I wanted a place where I could share these great experiences I'm able to have and make it inspirational for people, but also a reminder that it's all attainable, you know? Like I didn't grow up with this kind of lifestyle or being interviewed or having fancy things. Like that is all very new. And so to be able to show like, you want that, you could totally have that and you are enough and you're worth it. And it's also been a great way for me to connect with people.
wants to make public, she make it public. And she also mentioned it in the Oprah interview. Okay, she shared things that she wants to share with you. So Meghan never talk about privacy, and she cleared that up with Oprah. I'll put some videos of everything that I talk about. All right, so let's go into the comments. So these people, some of them need to do some research. They're repeating the same nonsense that what do you call this? The UK tabloid is mentioning. Only Sunny is more specific and more on you know, a little bit more direct and truthful about what she says. The other ones are playing the same nonsense in the UK. All right, they need to ask the moron, you know who started the privacy thing. Second, before I started following Harry and Meghan, from what I uncovered is that Meghan always had a relationship with the media. Third, if the British media keeps on talking about Meghan and Harry non-stop, thousands of articles keep written about them, don't you think they have the right to clear things up? Alright, Harry and Meghan been private, and they've been focusing on their work by supporting charities that align with their values. So where do these people are getting things like they keep telling their stories? Hush Type is a podcast focusing on words media use against women, and she discussed these words in her podcast. So if the British media keeps inventing stories about Meghan and or Harry, don't you think they too should have the right to clear these things up? The media around the world constantly talking about them, but the second they come out and tell their side of the story, it's like, OMG, Meghan and Harry always talking about their experience. The same way the tabloid is exploiting them, she uses the same tactic to respond to her haters. People are mad because they are brilliant at earning from their own stories. Leave them alone, then no problem. All right, I'm surprised. I wrote it pretty good. There was no mistakes. I was pissed off. There was no mistake on my typing. Alright, you ladies need to look up the definition of privacy before you comment. Alright, there's Joanne. Okay, they need to look up the fact of what happened to Harry and Meghan, period, and then shut the F off, seriously. The View is officially added to my strike list. One too many time for me. Yeah, okay, The View, are you trying to say that the two couples cannot exist in the same environment? One should put their life on hold because the other couple is going about their lives. They spoke once. Thank you. I'm glad other people are saying that. They spoke once on the Oprah, and the attack continues. There it is. Okay, this is exactly, I didn't even read any of the comments. I did listen to the video before I record, and that's how I was able to comment on it. Okay, until that stops, they'll keep talking. Exactly. See, the squad see the same thing. That's exactly that. Either the editors are lazy to get the facts, or they are infiltrated by the monarchy right-wing PR. Has The View discussed the real threat to the monarchies at home? The one that Prince William instigate. Alright, there's a receipt. Quote, I think this is less about saving the earth and more about saving the royal family. Okay, Prince William's godmother steps down from royal duties after unacceptable comments. The late monarch was very close to Lady Susan Hussey. Alright, what else? Okay, this sense of embattlement has been entrenched by William's decision to reach out to senior figures in the media as he prepares for kingship, and by the apparent decision of those same newspapers to side with the palace over Meghan and Harry by peddling the most negative coverage of the duchesses. Okay, criminals hate those that speaks truth. That's true. That old lady Anna had her head all the way you that institution's backside. It's sickening. Alright, I'm glad I'm not the only one who saw the same thing. This show is becoming disgrace. Fact check before stating stupid comments. Sussex's never request for privacy. You've not seen the docuseries to comment on it. There is a lot of their history which has not been told. Okay. And I think the docuseries is going to be even worse than the Oprah interview. I've said this in other videos, because the Oprah interview was response to mostly headlines. You guys could correct me on it, because I watched it once, so my mind might fade away a little bit. Because it's to the headlines they were making clear. But this one, I think we're going to see behind the scene of things. It's not going to be still images. There's not only still images, there's going to be moving parts, things that we don't know about. Like, for instance, maybe what happened when they went to the Netherlands or Germany and all of that. Okay, the hate that they received during the Queen's death, that long week that they stayed over there. Oh my Lord. My goodness, I have been black, never watched it, never will. Lazy reporting. Okay, the show is pandering to advertisers, political parties. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Okay, all the mainstream media, forget it. It's done with. In my humble opinion, from my point of view, mainstream media is done with. If you want really true reporting, just go on Twitter, read things that individuals, okay, people who's putting their stories out there, or how do they call this, those journalists, independent journalists who's putting their own things out there. Okay, these are better than those mainstream media. Mainstream media is done with. Like I was saying, in the 2020 election, what the world was waiting is for America to pick that idiot to be president, and then everything will fall under one particular same nonsense we're seeing. Okay, I spoke about this, so let me not go into it too much. With that being said, let's move on to the next tweet. Okay, there's this. The woman who wore a red dress for a state dinner with China is now wearing a green dress to an environmental award show. Okay, I saw this first, but later on I saw what she was talking about because I was not following them. Let's see, that makes her look like green highlighter pen. And who loves wearing white to remind BAM? BAM is an acronym for Black, Asian, and Minority Ethnic. Okay. People, that she is the White Duchess. Yeah. Slithering Queen and her stylist. Yeah, they're doing it on purpose. They're not hiding their racism, but they want people to think otherwise. Oh goody, I wear this bright green dress with these emeralds. Okay, OMG, it's hideous. Di is rolling in her grave that she paired her jewelry with that mess. Okay, I can't stop laughing. I mean, let's not bring Princess Diana into this. Princess Diana show her who she is. Okay, despite the heat that she was under, she still stayed true to herself. Her humanitarian work speak louder than anything else. So remember, when we were born, we all were born butt naked, and we live the same way. We could put as many nonsense we want, you know, during our funeral or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're gonna leave everything behind. Go to the, if you open a casket several years later after you bury somebody, you're gonna see everything stays behind. Okay, so jewelries, all this nonsense, they're making a big deal out of it. Everything is gonna stay behind. All right, so let's not put Princess Diana into this mess. All right, just wait for the green screen theme, the green screen memes. That's true, because usually when I'm doing videos, if I want like sound effect or visual effect, I have to find something with green screen behind it. All you need to do is put the image that you want and then tap something and the green disappear. All right, so they did her well. She knows exactly, whoever dressed her know exactly what they were doing. And I think I commented on one of those comments. I'm going to the next one. Okay, Gen Z helped this lady with her green screen dress. All right, so there's this. This is my comment here. Okay, she's serving her purpose, not to overshadow future. There's a rolling eye. So she's pretty much disappear. There's the laugh. And future can easily walk over her. He'll have a perfect reason. He didn't see her. He thought she was part of the carpet. Alright, there's this. This is how you're part of that room, not disappear in the room. That's the thinking face. Only the head show that is a person. Sorry. Let's see here. It's Kobe. Some of it is, I can't see it, so maybe it's not even worth to read it. Last night, Duchess Meghan took moderate discussion focused on empowerment and supporting you. Okay, young. Okay, supporting, I don't know what the rest is, with Rabbi Sandy Asso for supporting women funding. Have hosted notable guests including Michelle Obama, and there's that. Let's see here. See through, there's that. With all that money, quote, you have to have the test. Okay, you have to have the test to figure it. All right. I was saying, I almost think I was watching a green from my backyard. So she blend into the scenery. That's exactly that. Okay, that's exactly that. They wanted her to disappear. Okay, there's the green carpet. She's wearing the same color as the carpet. Who's standing out? The person next to her. All right, the future. So she's serving her purpose. They don't want her to overshadow the future, and that's exactly what happened. She wanted to match the carpet. Oh my! You see, one more time. You see, disappear, and who stand out? The husband. All right, next one. And who stand out? Okay. When you hear Prince William's photo op with the president was interrupted by shouts of, quote, F the royal family, perfecto. I didn't come across that video. I didn't see that, but that's what they say. There's me here. Oh yeah, I didn't pay attention to them today. Hopefully I come across the video. I still didn't come across that video. Don't forget Biden was on the receiving end of KK Camilla gossip when he visited Scotland last year. She's alleged the sound of Biden's flatulence, quote, was long, loud, and impossible to ignore, end quote, a source told the Daily Mail at the time. Camilla hasn't stopped talking about it. That's the rolling eye. Yeah, I think I cover it. Why Karma strike mercilessly? Okay, anyone have the video footage? Yeah, I didn't come across it. OMG, no. I love your account. This info is chef kiss. This is the first time I'm hearing this, and it's from you. Yeah. That's the first time I hear it too. Is that true? Welcome to Boston. Video of this, please. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Okay, wish I could say I was surprised. Alright, is there a video? Alright, lies. Okay, awesome video. Okay, so a lot of people's asking. When I do come across it, I'll definitely will share it with you. I didn't hear it. What did the tweet says again? When you hear Prince William's photo op, okay, somebody said F the royal family. Okay, I didn't come across it. They're probably going around it to delete that. Next one, you can steal something that never existed in the first place. Prince William and Kate Boston Thunder was stolen by the Sussexes. SOB. Oh my God, there's that. Okay, if an 11-second trailer steals 3 days of royal event, then the event couldn't have been worth much in the first place. Considering Will and Kate and the British media hate Americans who are too American, why don't they visit another country where there are fewer or no Americans? That's exactly that. I mean, the squad saw this coming. Well, then again, every places that they go, they told them not to show up, but they went anyway. So, hey. Okay, Harry and Meghan are thousands of miles away. So, alright, don't think London crowd didn't let them know. Facts. It's clear who the more popular couple really is. Alright. I have this. Did I bookmark it? Let me put it here. I have this somewhere. How many minutes? 7 minutes. Okay. I just moved this to last, but I'll come to it at some point. But I want to focus on the William things and stuff like that. Okay, there's this here. I'm going to say it. The Boston tour was never going to be huge. Americans don't really care about mainstream British royalty unless it involves a movie or television series, preferably with Colin Firth or Henry Cavill. Okay, Cavill somewhere in the cast. We love rebels. We are rebels. Okay, Boston is mostly people of Irish heritage. I mean, come on. Where is the thinking here? Facts. That is true. Okay, being stood up by Caroline Kennedy and John Kerry had to sting. Okay, a bit presumptuous of them to think that the glitzy visit was going to win over America. They could have been a bit more strategic and let the world come to the UK instead. Hey, I don't know who's advising them, or they could have taken it to a Commonwealth country, so said their obsession with winning America. They could have gone to Canada or something. Also school or New Zealand or those other countries that be having their mouthpiece for them. Not New Zealand. What's there? Australia. That's the one I meant to say. Why also schools in America can close or take students out to meet the royals either. We in USA aren't raised to believe that people are entitled to wealth, titles, and status by accident of birth. The royal family is stunningly out of touch with modern society. They'll never admit being royal is not the pinnacle and people can achieve greatness without a royal birthright. Exactly. That's exactly what Meghan stood for. She grew up in a humble beginning and she made it out on top.
yeah, it's still my baby. I wanted a place where I could share these great experiences I'm able to have and make it inspirational for people, but also a reminder that it's all attainable, you know? Like I didn't grow up with this kind of lifestyle or being interviewed or having fancy things. Like that is all very new. And so to be able to show like, you want that, you could totally have that and you are enough and you're worth it. And it's also been a great way for me to connect with people.
Okay, they hated her for that too. Okay, they are not personified either. They don't elicit excitement. And it's Boston. If it's not about sports, people are not paying attention. Okay, I don't understand why they didn't go to DC. Boston was an odd choice. And as an American, generally, we don't care much about the various royal families. What is it? Was it Washington, D.C. has a lot of black people, so I don't think they wanted to go there. There's a small group who do, but that's not the majority. I'm not seeing Will and Kate being mentioned much in the news either. Okay, I remember Diana's last visit because she came to Chicago. We got a lot of good local coverage, but it wasn't a big deal. Why? I think the rebel bit is much overstated, giving US quickly develop its own establishment and dynasties. I am glad for you that it at least doesn't involve royalty. Okay, I live in Boston and we are quite excited, and Prince and Princess are there. All right, go there. Go. There have been big happy crowd waiting to see them. Really? There's a bat right there. This has to be a bat. They have been gracious and genuine during their visit, so unless you actually live here, it's piped down. Yeah, I would love to see that. Let's see to comment under that. Okay, that sounds like a desperate attempt to pump up the few hundred turnout. You poor pitiful little person. Did you stop your work day to go see them? Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I've been saying this forever. Also, Boston was the worst city to pick. So many Irish American and home of so many historic events from the American Revolution. What did they expect? I honestly didn't know they were in the US until yesterday. Okay, oh yes. Can I have it a little Colin and Carvel on the side, please? Alright, after this, let me move on. Let's see here. This high carbon trip with all the fancy costume and the jet travel have very little to do with actual concern for the climate as far as I can see. Something more humble, less glitzy would have been more appropriate, but it was just a vehicle to win over the US. Go figure. Okay, amen. True to extent, but when Princess Diana visited America, it was an event. Alright, well, maybe birthday boy Billy Idol too. Alright, so let me go to the next one. I think this is almost the same. There was a tweet that I come across and it was a comment under the original tweet. Alright, so there's a video here. Okay, the scoop. Alright, let's see, 7 seconds. Oh, there's no audio. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Okay, let's the squad started already. So I can't screenshot the whole post because it doesn't fit, but for your viewing pleasure, haha. Oh my god, this is you see, if she had wore something like that, well, I'm not saying exactly what she put there, but at least something, a different color, she will stand out. But the squad or something savage. Why does she put up with him? Okay, there she goes again, cosplaying Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Diana, Meghan, and now the carpet. This little sound effect, epitome of class and vigor. She is stunning in person and he is genuine man. Are you seriously? A genuine man, so sincere to greet us. A genuine, his behavior? Let me put some screenshot of things where he didn't even care. This alone, okay, didn't even hold her hand. Let it go, okay? And part where Harry was telling him, you know, during the rain to come and get your wife. Oh my god, let's go to the next one. A genuine man. Please don't that's an insult to real men to use this guy. Okay, the scoop. Oh, there it is again. Why did I oh, there's my comment here. Someone retweeted it again. Alright, oh boy, for just 1 microsecond he can pretend. Whose fault is it? Not who they will be blaming. Egg. Okay, masterpiece of self-destruction. Okay, very uncomfortable. I'm confused. If it's they want to avoid PDA or if one of them just isn't interesting, it's so hard to tell. I don't really think they like each other as people. They seem to take turns flinching away from each other. Yeah, look at that. It's giving this. Okay, I forgot about this. That lady is desperate to be touched. How tragic. My goodness. It's giving loveless marriage of convenience. Yep. My God, that's sad. I almost feel bad for laughing. It's so cringy. Melania doesn't play. I don't know why. I always feel like Melania Trump was put next to him to keep an eye on him for the Russian. I don't know. Okay, this is just my humble opinion. I don't think she messed with him. Like, don't touch me. Oh my God. Basically, but in reverse, there's that awkward, very LOL. It is just me, or her gown was cut out of the floor carpet though. Okay, it's not just you. All right, let me go to the next one. There's this here. I came across this, so I decided to add it. Billie Ellis in New York City, December 2nd, 2022. There she. And I was reading this. Find your Zen mode, I think it is. Okay, or moment. The guy's head is blacking the rest. I think it's moment maybe. There's me here. Where's my comment? Okay, it's by down here. All right, let's see here. Wait, she did not perform? She sent a video apparently. Wow, nobody wants to be part of that. LOL. Lord, I was wondering why Billie was. There she is here. There's the laugh. She was in USA. Not only in the same country, but on the same coast. That's right, East Coast. There's the laugh here. She's finding her Zen moment. There's that. Ha ha ha. Good for her. And I explained that in one of the video. Is that when you look, many of these people who doesn't want to be a peer next to them, okay, they're looking out for their future. All right, future in the sense where their kids, their great grandkids can say, this is my parents, my great grandmother stood up for something. All right, they don't want to take pictures of someone who represent negativity. Okay, meaning racism and things that's happening, hurting other human beings. Okay, so when you look at oh God, what's that TV show where they look at people heritage, history of their their family heritage. All right, when their great grandparents did something very heroic, all right, you see how proud their great grandkids feel about them. So this is the same thing I'm seeing here. Those people who don't want to stand next to them, and at the same time show grace and respect, but the part where they don't want to stand next to them, so their kids could will see them in the future, they don't want that. All right, that stands. It speaks volume. Okay, so proud of her. She still bagged her money without giving hypocrites photo apps. Oh, so they had to pay her to. Okay, and the Earth show, what happened? All right, there's this. This is extra. So let's go. Okay, the royal family is built on. Okay, I keep on saying this. Is this different? Yeah, this is extra. More tweets. This is extra. Official buzz. The Harry and Meghan left royal family for privacy narrative isn't anything new. There's just one problem. It's not true. Okay. Meghan and Harry always said they don't. It wasn't our privacy. Can you imagine someone who interfere? Okay, your private letter to your parents. Okay, and then they put it out there without your consent. Okay, something heartfelt you wrote on a letter, and then those journalists know very well the law about it, but they put it out there anyway. So this is what Meghan was talking about. Okay, they don't want you to come in their house uninvited to take pictures of them. Okay, Meghan explained that already. Let me read some of the comments here. Okay, privacy. Oh, good. The squad came and put the meaning of privacy. So let me add this. It wasn't on the list, but I saw it, so let's put it. All right, let me add it. Okay, the Harry and Meghan left royal life for privacy narrative isn't anything new. There's just one problem. It's not true. Okay, Harry and Meghan never said they were living royal life for privacy. Let me click on it. I'll put the link in here. Alright, the link will be in the description as well. Alright, so there's an article. Alright, a lot to take in. All this were not part of the thing. Oops. Alright, let's see here. Harry and Meghan have never wanted privacy. They wanted control. Okay, the Sussexes have denied this false narrative for years. Okay, I'm not gonna read all. Okay, after months of speculation, Netflix dropped the teaser trailer for its behind-the-scene documentary about Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, on Thursday. The 6-episode series, simply titled Harry and Meghan and described as, quote, Netflix global event, will hit the streaming platform on December 8th. If the clip, which contained never-before-seen photos of the couple, including multiple images of the Duchess, formerly known as Meghan Markle, and tears, or any indication, it's going to be a bombshell intimate look at the lives of two of the most famous people in the world. It didn't take long for the couple's legion of critics to begin attacking, and it took even less time for an inevitable common theme to emerge from all of the negative feedback. Note, Harry and Meghan hater Piers Morgan led the way, slamming the Sussexes, quote, bleeding about privacy, then doing a kiss and tell reality series about your private lives, end quote. Royal biographer and commentator Angela Levine, who was recently under fire for a racist tweet about Meghan's skin color, shamed and asking, quote, aren't we invading their privacy with these photos, end quote. The comment section of the Daily Mail article about the docuseries echoed the same sentiment. Posts like, how this privacy thing's going, okay, and quote, it's amazing how quiet and personal their life is now, definitely out of public eye, not receiving more than 7,000 upvote. Friday, UK papers hammered the couple for their apparent hypocrisy.
So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy.
Alright, so there's more. You guys could read. I don't want to read everything. The link will be in the description. But let me read the comments here. Okay, privacy is a narrative created by the British press.
If you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
And they never bothered to check each other. Racism, relentless media attack.
Meghan was covered in England. I mean, it was vicious.
Yeah, the negativity. Vicious is the word.
And xenophobia were the reason they stepped back to preserve their mental health.
We chose to put our mental health first. That's what we're doing, and that's what we will continue to do.
See the statement attached. P.S. They were pushed out. In the spring of 2020, oh my god, the squad are good. In the spring of 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be adapting a revised media approach to ensure diverse and open access to their work. This adjustment will be a phased approach as they settle into the new normality of their updated role. This updated approach aimed to 1. Engage with grassroots media organization and young up and coming journalists. We have seen that so far. The Cut, okay, is it Cut or the Cut? The Cut, the interview that Meghan did. There's other small articles that came where Meghan was featuring it, or Harry. NPR, when her book came out, she did it with NPR, okay, is a public broadcast in the US. Okay, to invite specialist media to specific events, engagement to give greater access to their cause-driven activities, widening the spectrum of news coverage. And let's look for this as an example. Let's look at Meghan's podcast. She brings specialists, people who specialize in some of the things she'll be talking about, to explain and broader things of what she will be discussing in her podcast. Okay, 3. Access to credible media outlet, focus on objective news reporting to cover key moments and events. And we've seen this so far. Okay, continue to share information directly to the wider public via their official communication channel. And we've seen this, it's on their archetype website. All right, there's here, she's talking about what privacy here. I'm gonna stop in between, okay? Oops.
You're going to have to lose privacy.
Well, it's two things here.
That's part of the deal.
Two things here. I think everyone has a basic right to privacy. Basic, right? And we're not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. So if you're at work and you have a photograph of your child on your desk and your coworker says, "Oh my gosh, your kid's so cute. That's fantastic. Can I see your phone so I can see all the pictures of your child?" You go, "Well, no, this is the picture I'm comfortable sharing with you." And then if they double down and say, "No, but you already showed me that one, so you have to show me everything." You know what? I'm just going to hire someone to sit in front of your house or hide in the bushes and take pictures into your backyard because you've lost your right to privacy because you shared one image with me.
Okay, this is the thing that the UK media wanted to do, to invade and anything that they are doing. Okay, Harry been saying it way before Meghan got into the picture. He wanted that line to separate the line where he's doing his public role and private life. He didn't want people to invade in his privacy.
Chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have a private life?
Cheeky question. You're right, that is a cheeky question. But Andrew, to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymore. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing. But the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
Okay, so there's Meghan here. Explain it in more detail.
That's sort of the flawed argument and its operating mechanism that they're confusing people to think. I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with.
And this is what the Netflix is all about. She's comfortable about sharing that part, and she's gonna share it. Nobody have the right to invade into her life and then twist things different ways that they want, and then she cannot talk about it to clear things up.
There's no one who's on Instagram or social media that would say, because I shared this one picture, that entitles you to have my entire camera roll. Go ahead, look through it. No one would want that. So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy. I think that's just a basic understanding.
Okay, so there she is explaining it. Let's see, there's two comments under it. Okay, yes, that is kind of what happens when you choose to be public figure, and it is especially true when you choose to be a member of the royal family, Meghan. No. Meghan never signed about this. Okay, she wanted. Okay, when she does her charitable work, guess what? She's there. You take pictures. You do whatever. But when she's in her private, let's say at Frogmore House, Frogmore Cottage, no, you don't deserve to be in there. Okay, no, the royal family could give those access, but she and Harry said no. Okay, hey, guess what? She left. She's not playing that game with them. And guess what also? She got the privacy that she wanted since she been in the US. You don't see pictures of Archie all over. Okay, her doing all sort of things. She been away doing different things. It's later on we find out some of the things that she's doing. And when she's ready to talk to us or share it with us, that's when we know. Alright, she got exactly what she wanted, and she's in control of that. Alright, so if this is what you want, then you experience it. See how it is. But people with the right mind don't want that kind of thing. Just because the royal family, what happened is that they're freaking lazy. They don't want to do the hard work, but they want the tabloid to talk all nice about them. This is the switch that they're making. And then they're doing unethical behavior. You have people sleeping with kids, doing all sort of things. They don't want the tabloid to cover all of that. So Harry and Meghan are living their life ethically. Alright, you're gonna report the truth. But instead, they're doing lies after lies after lies. Harry and Meghan said, no, that's not me. You're not gonna do that to me. Alright, so let's go to the next one. There's more comment, but I'm moving on. That was not part of the thing. Let's see here. I think I lost track of where I was. This may not be here. Okay, I did this already. Let me find out. Okay, I lost track of my list where I was. Okay, I'm going to say, but Boston Tour was never going to be a huge. Okay, did they say mention? Okay, let's do this. I don't know if it's where I left off. Okay, I'm going to say it. Boston tour was going to be huge. Americans don't really care about mainstream British royalty unless it involves a movie or television series. Okay, I did this as well. It was there. This is the one I just added. Okay, now I find where I was. I just went into that. The link of this is in the description. All right, so now this is the new one. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna do another video because this is 4 minutes and more, and I have more videos, so I'm gonna do video number 2. All right, let's do a prayer for the sake of this video. All right, prayer for protection and tranquility. Okay, all right, let's see if there's an image. There's no image. Let's do this one. A prayer for peace of mind. Loving God, please grant me peace of mind and calm my troubled heart. My soul is like a turbulent sea. I can't seem to find my balance, so I stumble and worry constantly. Give me the strength and clarity of mind to find my purpose and walk the path you lay out for me. I trust your love, God, and know that you will heal this stress just as the sun rises each day against the dark of night. Please bring me clarity with the light of God. Amen. All right, so that's it. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And I am going to do video number 2. That's it. New subscribers, welcome.
For me, it's an added member of the family. It's another team player as part of the bigger team. And you know, for all of us, all we want to do is be able to carry out the right engagements, carry out our work, and try and encourage others and the younger generation to be able to see the world in the correct sense, rather than perhaps having a distorted view.